Hello, everybody. My name is Will, aka the Hammer, from the Sledgehammer Zone. And I'm making this video because I feel like it's time for myself and others to get on board with what we need to do to fix the problem that's happening with payment processors and groups like Collective Shout. If you're not aware, the scum sucking, if you don't believe what I believe, you can't have it, can't believe it, can't speak it, can't think it group that Collective Shout is, has gone to payment processors and pressured them to censor content online. Now, this is a very slippery slope. It's not something that a lot of people are going to pay attention to now because it only affects manga, anime, certain alternative niches, and other things of that nature in video games. Now, before you say this doesn't affect me, it does. And the reason why it affects you is what they're doing sets a dangerous precedent. If they get away with doing it to these niches, what's to stop them from coming from your content you like so much? There's nothing. There's no regulations, no fines, no nothing. Collective Shout just has to write their little letters, get on their phone, get the payment processors. Oh, God, no. We want to hear from these 10,000 people that are Collective Shout. Oh, God, no. And then your shit's gone. They got petitions to get taken down to stop them. There are some people in the Australian government, I'm not saying active government, maybe former, that have sometimes ties to active, maybe, unverified, but maybe. And what we have here is when they do this crybaby bullcrap now, and it happens to us, video game lovers like myself, anime lover like myself, as you can see in the background, anime, love it, High School of the Dead, amazing show, but oh no, Redhead Riz Grimmery in underwear, oh God, no, this is objectifying women, oh my God, no, how can you? High School of the Dead's gone. That's what Collective Shout does. Bitch, moan, cry, oh, woe is me, it's objectification of a woman. No. And that's how it happens. Now, we as people that love games are trying to get this stopped. There's people in Japan who has been directly affected by this already that are working on legislation to stop it. Trying to hold payment processors to task for what they're doing. Excuse me, and we all, as freedom lovers that believe in our rights, believe in freedom of expression, believe in freedom of speech, who believe in free thought, we need to stand together and help us stop to this. Now, I'm a fan of Asmongold. There's not much I disagree with when he talks. He's usually pretty spot on, dead to the rights, and I agree with it. Earlier today, he made a statement that I don't necessarily disagree with because it pertains to this. It pertains to some companies. When you get too big for your britches, common sense doesn't compute. And one way to stop this would be for common sense to take hold. Well, they're too big for their britches. Common sense don't compute. There's nothing up here for it to compute. So therefore, it's not going to stop because common sense and reason just doesn't make sense to them anymore. So, I disagreed with Asmund on that. Beyond that, it's nitpicky. I agree 100% with most everything Asmund Gold has said today. Now, back on topic. What I believe that we need to do, instead of doing what Collective Shout did to the payment processors, calling them and writing them, and bitching, moaning, what we need to do, and I'm going to show you on my phone, we need to tell MasterCard, PayPal, JP Morgan, and Visa to shove it. And what I mean by that is, as an example, let's say, I know before anybody puts a comment down here, don't. I know they make more than 10 cents per transaction, so don't complain about my 10 cent. It's just an example. So if they get, the credit card payment processors get 10 cents per transaction. Okay. As you can see, 10 cents. The average, and I'm saying average American, I can't speak for other countries, but the average American uses their card anywhere from 5 to 10 times a day. But, for example's sake, we'll say each person uses it 6 times a day. Okay, as you can see, that's 60 cents. Now then, that's one person per day. Say we get 100, and we'll get way more to do this, but let's just say we get 100 people to do that. So we're going to multiply that by 100, and we get $60 a day. 100 people get the payment processors for $60 a day. So now let's multiply that by 7 days a week. Yo, guys, that is $420 a week. 100 people can do to the payment processors. Now, if you multiply that by a month, that's $1,680 a month. As you can see, calculator don't lie. $1,600 and $1,680. Now then, let's, just for shits and giggles here. Say we get 1,000 people at the 10 cent rate. So 1,680 times 1,000. Guys, 1,000 of us does this. $1.6 million a month. If 1,000 of us get on board to do this. Now, I don't know about you, but if I owned a business and I started losing $1.6 million a month, I'd be asking questions. But we know we're going to get more than 1,000. I mean, it's obvious when we stand together, we're going to get way more than 1,000 people on board with this. But let's say it's not 1,000. Because we know it's not going to be 1,000. Most of these petitions that have gotten signed have got 20 to 30,000 people on board. I'll split the difference. We'll call it 10,000 people. And now, your monthly total looks a little bit different. $16.8 million. I don't care if you're Visa, I don't care if you're MasterCard. When you start getting hit to the tune of $16 million a month, questions start getting asked hardcore. Now I know you're going to say, well, Hammer, to them, $16 million is a drop in a bucket. Well, now you say that, and for them, I agree. Until you look at that for a year. $201.6 million loss in a year. I want that to sink in. Now, you want to know how you stop these companies that are doing this? What I just showed you right there. You hit them with deficits. It goes away. And you're going to say, well, wait a minute, Hammer. How can we do this? You start paying cash for everything. And I know it's inconvenient. By all means. I've already started doing this. I go to the store, $20 in my pocket. I'll go spend that $20. I got to pay bills. I'll drive down to the bank not to the ATM, but to the teller. I will withdraw whatever money I need to pay my bills, and I'll pay my bill in cash. I'll drive my happy lazy butt over to the electric company, and I'll pay my electric bill in cash. I need something for Amazon, and I can get it at Walmart or Kroger or Target. And I hate Target, but I'll do it. Just to hit these people in the pocket where it hurts. Yes, sirree, I'm going to give up my comfort. I'm going to give up my convenience. And I'm going to hit these people where it hurts. That's the only way to stop this. When they see that kind of pushback, they see that kind of loss, the higher ups say, okay, well, now our paychecks are getting hurt. Now our overall business over-under is getting hurt. That is how you put a stop to places like Collective Shout. Because when the payment processors start losing money, done. They don't have none of that smoke because they're losing money. Smoke goes out the door. We don't want it. Hey, no, stop, people. Stop, people. We're retracting what we did. We apologize. I'm sorry, the damage is done. We need to prevent any further damage from being done. Something else I would strongly recommend for people that live in the United States: call your senator or email them, fax them, I don't care. Send them a communication and express to them, and you do it to your congressman and your state rep. Do it to all three. I know it takes a little time, but in the end it'll be worth it. You send these people letters saying, hey, we don't approve of this, we don't want this, this is against our basic constitutional and human rights. We don't want this in our country here in America. Y'all need to put a stop to these people. And when you put enough pressure on them, your congressmen and your senators and your state reps start going, oh, wait a minute. This is an issue we need to take up, and we need to take it up now. So, when they start taking these issues up and talking about it, they'll see that there's regulations that need to be made, and with any luck, they'll make them. But we, as free-loving people that love our rights and our freedoms, believe in the expression of art, speech, thought, we need to make the stand and put that line in the sand, saying, hey, you payment processors have crossed this line, and now you're going to pay the price. You're going to lose money. Money speaks louder than words. Unless, of course, you're the government and you say, oh, hey, sanction time for you, tariff time for you. Or, oh, wait a minute, we're going to regulate you to the tune of massive fines because you're violating our people's rights. So, again, I encourage everybody to reach out to their representatives. Talk to them, leave them a message. You may not talk directly to them, it doesn't matter, leave them a message. And you don't do that once a month. You do that every other week. Because when their phones and their messages and their emails start getting blown up, they recognize that as a problem that needs to be dealt with because they don't like it. They don't like getting buzzed like that. They don't like their constituents unhappy. Unhappy constituents mean less likely to vote for you. Less likely to vote, you don't stay in power. So therefore, people speak, politicians listen, especially when they think they're going to lose your vote. So that's two ways I personally believe we can fight back and hold these groups accountable. Do I think the political way of doing it is going to work? Probably not. But do I believe we need to try? Most definitely. Do I believe hitting them financially will work? Oh, hell yeah. Start losing lots of money, especially to the tune of what I showed you. People start talking, people start listening. So what we need to do is fight back and do it in the proper way. We don't need to be out here telling people what they can and can't do, what they can and can't think, what they can and can't draw, or read, or write, or say. We need to do it the legal right way. Now, I know what you're going to say. What you're saying sounds like a lot like what they did with the payment processors. In a way, you can take it as that. But we're not doing this to stifle somebody's rights. We're not doing this to stifle anybody's well-being. What we're doing this for is to stop people from trying to take our rights from us. God gave us these rights. Bless the man. He is the ultimate being. But no human has the right to tell me or anybody else what I can think, what I can say, what I can draw, what I can play, what I can read, or what I can do. Just like I don't have the right to tell the people from Collective Shout to go jump off a bridge or put a bag over their head because I don't want to breathe the same air as them. I do not have that right to do that to them. No, so I don't have that right, and I don't agree with what they're saying, and I do not have the right to force them out of their opinions or what they believe. But what I do have the right to do is to make sure my rights are respected and upheld. I'm sorry for this nasty video, guys. This situation has really pissed me off, and I see it getting worse before it gets better. So we need to get ahead of this game. We need to put a stop to it before it gets worse. I will catch you guys on the flip side. I apologize for the nastiness, but something needs to be done. A line needs to be drawn. And we need to make sure that we keep our God-given rights. Thank you. Have a good day. Peace.